Hi, this is Cass from Aussie Cass Plays, and welcome to another video. This is also not Sims 4, but I said a lot of very kind things about Baldur's Gate 3 in my video talking about The Sims 4. So now we're going to do a little role reversal where I'm going to attempt to make one of my Sims in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, the only thing that I think Sims, I mean, they're different games. I said this last time, they are different games. This is not a live sim. This is a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game. But The Sims and also Inzoi do character creation better, even though the characters are, I would argue Inzoi is probably on par with Baldur's Gate 3, but only in some ways. I'll get to that later. But the Baldur's Gate doesn't have sliders. It does have better color selection, like for eyes and stuff. The swatches are better, but it doesn't have sliders. So we're going to try and make Hyacinth because I was like, I've never played a bard in Baldur's Gate 3, and the plum generation of Not So Berry is very bardy. You know, they're a performer, they're a dance machine. They're also non-committal and a genius, I think, from memory. So we're going to attempt, you're singing very loudly, lady. Shh, shh. We're going to attempt to make Synth with the limited options that are available. And I'm going to create her as an actual character, like a playable character. In order to do this, because I don't have Synth available anymore, I didn't keep copies of previous generations of the challenge, so that sim is gone. But I downloaded one of the thumbnails. I figured this is a pretty good, sorry, it looks like I'm trying to pick your nose with the cursor there, Synth. This is a pretty good shot of her face. The hair changed a lot over time, but it gives the like basic face shape, big eyes, big lips. We'll see how we go. So I'm actually going to have this on my other screen as I'm recording, but maybe I'll have it in the corner of the screen. At the very least, I'm going to pull it up so we can compare. My thought, because Synth is obviously a human, all of the Not So Berry Sims are humans, in my challenge at least, but my justification, and I've been saying this probably since Mint Gen, for the reason that they have the different colouring in each generation, my headcanon is that they are part Fae, because that's causing weird appearance changes. That's just how I justified it for my own immersion, I guess. So I'm actually going to make her a half-elf. That does mean she will have pointy ears. Okay, let's just edit your appearance real quick. Let's take your hair off or do something like that. There we go. So she's got slightly pointy ears. That is obviously not accurate, but like I said, I wanted to try and represent Synth as a character across the board. Now, High, Wood, or Drow, she's quite pale. Wood Elf to me is more wood tone. Drow quite often have grey skin. So I think we're going to go High Elf. She will have the Firebolt cantrip. Good for her. To be honest, Firebolt's not a bad start choice. It means you can ignite things on the ground, like in terrain. So we're going to make her a bard, because obviously that was a little extra. See, I'm not actually really thinking about playing her. I would, if you guys are like, do it, I'm happy to give it a try. Do I need the light? It could, actually no, she'll be able to see in the dark, so we don't need to worry about light. Spells, I like to just take all the spells off and then work my way through the list. Creature you can see, that is a solid spell, because you can get people up when they're downed. I'm not a fan of sleep, so I'm not doing this in an optimized way. I like Longstrider. I know you can get Camp Clerics and blah 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 blah. There are min-maxing ways to do it, but I like Longstrider, so we're gonna have Longstrider. We'll go Hideous Laughter, Dissonant Whispers, sounds good. Starting instrument, what did she mainly play? I feel like Synth, she played guitar, she played piano. Let's go with lute. Lovely. Now, this is something I actually wanted to think about, because she starts out as logic. So the plum generation of Not So Berry starts out as they're like a doctor. So she was a doctor until she hit middle age, and then she became an entertainer. So I like the idea of the sage background. It's, again, not min-maxing. We are replicating a character. You're curious and well-read with an unending thirst for knowledge. So she'll start with Arcana in history. And then I'm not going to put too much thought into this, to be perfectly honest with you. Even numbers are better in D&D because you get bonuses for, like, if you've got a 14, you get, I think, a +2 on dexterity related rolls. If you have a 15, you still get +2. It doesn't change. So the even numbers are better. So I'd rather she start with even numbers. I've set her up. That is not the main thing of why we're here, though. Nope. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to click edit appearance. So, I have a lot of CC. I'm not going to use it for this. We're going to be female. What voice have we got?
Where to next?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Her voice was my voice. None of them sound like me. So it's literally just these top 6 that are base game. This is actually really hard because her eyes are quite large, especially in the particular screenshot I grabbed because she's like in the middle of looking like she wants to cry. I don't know, man. The one with, let's just go for the one with the biggest eyes. That one, maybe? Yeah. That's the one. She's got a cute little button nose. And then we go all the way down. Skin tone. She's kind of a little yellow in the undertones, but very pale. I actually think that's pretty close. But that's it. That's the limit to what I can do here. Now, I can add freckles. I can add vitiligo. And we can make her an elder if we would like. But this, again, the screenshot I picked is from when she was a young adult. So we'll stick with that. You can also change this. I'm not going to, because if I click this button, she'll be very naked. I didn't think that it was going to zoom me out there, so that was terrifying. But if I click that, it zooms her out and makes her fully naked, and then you can see everything. So we're not going to click that button. Body art. She doesn't have any tattoos, actually, so we'll skip right on past body art. Again, these are all... This is the full set. I don't have any CC. And she doesn't have any piercings either. So eyes. We're looking for purple. We've got a couple of choices. She's got a lighter purple, so we're going to go with that. Let's get back to that. Let's do hair. I spend the most time in the hair section. So see what I mean? It's still swatch based, but it's not, it's like there are more choices than what you would get in The Sims. So in that way, this does better. I had originally thought that I was actually going to give her a natural hair color and then do highlights. Let's say, for example, for the purposes of argument, let's give her that, and then we'll do purple highlights. I actually don't mind that. I'm not so sure about the white. You can also do interesting things because they have the 2 colors. And then graying, you can, again, like the wrinkles, you can add the grey. I actually quite like that. But we need to choose the hair because obviously the way the two-tone affects is going to... Oh, I need to not choose the CC ones. It's going to affect the way it presents. So, for example, the way it mixes on a given hair will be different. These are all CC, the ones with the blue background, and they're all CC as well. There are some great hairs in the CC. It's actually really cute. I love that hair. Tav's Hair Pack 39. Make a mental note of that for another time. But I want to stick to the ones that came with the game because we are comparing the 2. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 has integrated mod support now because the game is done. Like, you can load mods from not all of them obviously, but on the homepage there's a mod manager and you can actually install mods. That's actually really cute. That's pretty similar to what she had in that screenshot, which is what I'm going for. So I just would like to give a bit of depth to her hair because I feel like if I just go flat purple like in The Sims where it's just one color, I'm not actually kind of showing it to its best ability, if that makes sense. What if I do a purple and then I do the rose highlight? Oh, the highlight options are less. That's frustrating. So that's the lightest purple highlight. So I guess we're going to go the other way. I was just thinking that the hair that I've got is actually much paler. It's like this kind of color. If I turn the highlights off, it's actually pretty similar to that. Look at that. That is so cute. We'll add a highlight just for a bit of depth. Makeup, I've played this, I've created so many characters now. I've played 8 custom characters. 7 of them were female. He did have a little bit of eyeliner, to be fair, but I've kind of got a sense for the makeup that I like now. Makeup, I usually go for, I love the glossy and the metallic, and then I usually just go for something that accentuates the eyes. That is horrific. Confirm. So these are all of the eyeshadow / eyeliners. That's it. Only one. Again, love me some gloss and some metallic. Interestingly, if you put these up to 100% but had the tint at 0, It just applies the gloss, like, doesn't matter what color I pick. It's literally just doing that to her lip skin tone, which I kind of love. I would know that it was synth. We don't have horns to pick. These are mods. The horns are relevant to races that come with horns, and she doesn't have a beard. That is the Baldur's Gate character creation. So, obviously, Sims does it better. Inzoi does it better again. Where this game then shines, let's go Hyacinth. We will just start. The outfit is shocking because you also can't pick the clothes. The clothes are what you find in game. You know. Oh, I forgot about this. Give me a sec. So what I've done is I've made her guardian same race, same, because she's this body type. I made him the smaller, like the more petite male body type. And I pretty much, other than the hair color being different, like I kept the same colored eyes and stuff. I actually quite regularly do this with the guardian. I tend to make them the gender flip of the main character. These are I'll quickly show you. These are the faces for a male half elf. We'll just quickly click through and that's it. And he doesn't get a name. My pause and unpause button for OBS is the same button that the game uses to enter photo mode. What I wanted to show you, so this is what she looks like running around in game. I think I need to go and find another character. So let's quickly run out here.
I'll give it a shot.
You will give it a shot. So I've obviously skipped all of the opening cutscenes and stuff, because I want to show you guys what she looks like during the quote-unquote cutscenes, which are not actually cutscenes. I don't know how Larian's built their engine for this game, but the scenes when your character's in dialogue, what would normally be a cutscene in a game, this is a little gross by the way, the scene behind her is the same. It's the live scene. So if you're in a situation where there are other NPCs wandering around and your character's talking to someone, yes, this is a little gross.
Come to save us.
I have come to save you. Good job.
From this place
See what she looks like she does in the character creator.
They return.
Tell me what to do.
From this body.
I'm gonna skip past this bit, you guys, because this is a bit gross. Dexterity. Sorry, us. I failed you.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
So this is the reason I think the Baldur's Gate, we're just going to leave it. In Inzoi, the character creator, I would argue the characters look as nice as in Baldur's Gate, but in the live game, they look like trash. So in this game, they look as good in character creation as they do in every single cutscene. Do you see what I mean? Like, she looks the same. So this is the way that I actually think Baldur's Gate does better than, because it's a cutscene in inverted commas, but it's like if there were an NPC standing over here, you would see them in this and they'd be rendered in the same way.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past.
Hi, Lazel. Love you. So, I'm not starting a Let's Play right now.
Together.
Yep, I love you, honey. I'm actually going to leave this here because they're going to yap. But see what I mean? That Nautiloid, like the tentacles, that's live. So I don't know how they did it. Like, cutscenes are usually pre-recorded and you might see your character in the cutscene, but that's it. They're usually pre-recorded. However, Larian has built its game engine for Baldur's Gate 3. These cutscenes show you your character and all the other characters. You need a mod to edit the companion characters. If I had edited her, it would show her appearance with the mod edited. This is what I'm saying. What is the takeaway from all of this? Other than the fact that Larian rules and I love this game. The Sims and Inzoi do face sliders and that's better. Probably the reason why it's so restricted is because they're rendering their faces. But that being said, the last time I played, my character was modded. She had a modded face and it was fine. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave this one here. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you think that our Hyacinth here looks remotely like, ignore the clothes, looks remotely like Synth from Sims 4. If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Leave a comment if you want to see me do this. A playthrough of Baldur's Gate is really long. So even if I edited the videos down, it would be a major major undertaking for all of us. So I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but let me know what you think. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.